I had a refreshing conversation today with adoptive parents who had adopted two transracial girls at ages 3 and 7. And as we were talking, I was telling my story because they were asking about it. And it's very refreshing to have a conversation with parents that get that adoption is trauma. And they actually raised their girls with that understanding. And their girls are 30 and 24 or something like that. I don't know if I have did the math right. I'm sure somebody else is going to be like, you did the math wrong. That's fine. I don't care. But the fact that their entire life, specifically the mom, realized how traumatized they were and how ill-equipped the government was to provide help for them as parents, as well as economically for the mom, was really eye-opening for me. And she was like, Julie, you need to go to the county. You need to go to the government and let them know what you're doing, because first of all, parents need you. But also I think the county or wherever, the government needs to have places to refer that can help people in these instances. If you would have been around when we were raising our kids, it would have been so unbelievably helpful. She said, but now you're there and you can help our adults. And I said, yeah, that's really what I want to do. But it was just unbelievably encouraging. And like I said, refreshing to have a conversation with adoptive parents who totally understood and got it. It reminded me of Isaac Etter's recent interview that he had with his mom on his podcast, where she was talking about how a baby being born and then given to another mother is awful for the baby, and that the baby, of course, is going to not understand why they are not with the biological person that carried them. I'm not saying it well, I'm not even doing it justice, but it really was moving that his mom was talking about how, what if, a baby is born and the mom dies? I mean, people are going to totally have sympathy for that baby. Well, that's basically what happens when a child is given up for adoption. Their mom dies in a way. They don't see their mom. From my era in the 70s, we didn't get put on our mother's belly or on our mother's chest or whatever. We were immediately whisked away to the nursery and never got to see our parents, so our biological parent. So it is as if our mother has died. And I have been spending the last few weekends taking the time to basically go back and interact with my newborn self. And that may sound a little crazy, but it's not for those of us in somatic circles. It's what we do to heal the internal trauma that we experienced. And it's been really interesting. The first time there were a few tears. The second time there were a lot of tears. The third time, even more tears. And I was able to put her against my chest. Today, I put her against my chest yesterday. Today, she didn't want anything. That intimacy had scared her so much that she was afraid this time to let her guard down. And I just allowed myself to be present with her. It makes so much sense when I think about the amount of trauma that she went through, my little baby self went through in those first 7 weeks of life, having changed hands 4 times. Of course, me coming to visit her 4 times in the course of, 3 weeks, it's going to take some time for her to feel safe with me. So just me experiencing that in the last few weeks, and then being able to talk to these adoptive parents that totally get it. I mean, they really do. Really encouraged me, and also kind of energized me to realize I'm on the right path. I need to continue speaking. I need to continue talking about these things because I think they're so unbelievably important for a population of 5 million people in the United States. And these stats are low, 2 times more likely to be addicts or have addicted behavior, and 4 times more likely to commit suicide. You think we don't need help? Our mental health needs help. And that's what I feel called to do. So anyway, thanks for listening. Peace.